Uh, I am,
Yeah, go down.
thank you. Guys, I'm Clay Winder. I know most of you, but not all of you. It's fun to see new faces. I'm an associate broker here at the office, been here a very long time. With probably about a half dozen other associate brokers, fill in for Dean Crandall when he goes out of town and wants a brief little break from being principal broker. And so I've had conversations with a few of you dealing with some deals. Uh, I've got the microphone today to talk about something so serious, and it is theft, and theft in a big way. And many of you, and I'm going to get on a little bit of a, I don't want to be mean, but many of our agents in our office are falling victim to fraud, and you don't even know it. And I want to go through something that all of you hopefully, not hopefully, but I'm sure many of you have seen. This is an email I received this morning. I receive an email like this almost every morning, and I already see heads nodding. But who here has received an email from an out-of-state buyer? Usually, this scammer really screwed up because it said Salt Lake City, moving to Alpine, relocating. Should have chose like Nebraska or something, right? But who here has received an email that says, hey, I'm out of state, I love your listing, or they describe everything they want. Hi, my family and I are in Salt Lake, we gotta move, we're hoping you can help us, see homes, urgent, all this. We want a 5-car garage, large driveway, pool. Funny how they identify everything that's exactly to one of my listings that I have in Alpine. How convenient, right? And say, we really like the architecture. Would you have availability today or tomorrow to show us the best properties? Sounds legit, right? Read this email. It looks legit. We're only in town till Thursday. We need to see houses. Why is this? Why am I saying, screw you, email, you're a scam? What red flags do you see right off the bat? Why is this not real? Why am I presenting this as a scam? Looks pretty real. What? Okay, so right out the gates, I did search the email domain. It's not even American, as you see, it's Canadian. Nothing wrong with Canada, but it's a red flag, right? Number two, I haven't used my Gmail and it's published nowhere. I don't even know where they got my Claywinder at Gmail. I haven't used that in years, right? The word urgent, the way it's laid out, and I've seen so many of these emails already that right out the gates, I know this is a scam. So those of you that receive this scam, what's the play? If I reply and say, oh yeah, I'm available, I can jump out and show you houses, what are they going to ask me when I reply and say that? Thank you. They're going to say, hey, before we meet you at the house, we just want to meet you on Zoom. Fair request, right? They're out of state. They just want to meet on Zoom, maybe Microsoft Teams or a Google Meet link. A lot of heads nodding. Those of you that aren't nodding your heads, I promise you in the next 7 days, you will receive an email that sounds like the best buyer in the whole wide world. And then they're going to send you a Zoom link. When you click on that Zoom, say, okay, yeah, how about tomorrow, 2:00? We'll see you on the Zoom link. And then they say, oh, we're so excited. You're like the coolest realtor ever. They're going to stroke your ego a little bit. Then they're going to send you that Zoom link. What's that Zoom link going to be? Who's clicked on it? Raise your hand. Who clicked on it? Oh, shut up. You've clicked on it. You click on it. What does it do? It asks you to log in to Zoom. How many of you, like me, have my Gmail connected to my Zoom? Therefore, I would be logging into Zoom using my what? My email and my password. It's a phishing scam, PH phishing. It's a phishing scam. We're all familiar with phishing scams, but this one is getting our agents right now. You guys are clicking on that Zoom link. I was with an agent just yesterday in our lobby who said, dude, check out this cool lead I got. And I said, yeah. You probably got the Zoom link, right? And he said, well, I did get the Zoom link. I said, did you click on it? He said, yeah, but it didn't work. I said, did you log in? He said, run to your computer right now. You just got hacked. They have your credentials. And he ran out the door to grab his laptop. This happened yesterday in our lobby. Why do they want to get in their email?
Your email.
Okay, so they're in their email. What does a scammer want in your email? What can they get from your email? They can get $1 million. This is a true story. We're going to walk through this. This happened 2 weeks ago. I'm the listing agent. The buyer is a cash buyer on my listing. I close my transactions with Real Advantage Title with wonderful Burgundy, who many of you know. Because the buyer is not getting a lender policy, they too are closing with Burgundy. An email I've got a copy of this and I have permission to share this because we need to preach this from the rooftops and share this story because it makes me sick. I've lost sleep over this email thread. So this is our buyer, and I'm not disclosing who the buyer is. I've cut it off. But our buyer receives this email from, who's it from? Closing escrow title 121@gmail.com. Is that a red flag? Oh my gosh, is it? Is it from Burgundy? No. Good morning. What's that? Could be what?
Even if that Burgundy.
Ooh, yes. Did you hear that? She said, even if that did say it was from Burgundy, could it be fraud? Yes. Right? Good morning. We're clear to close. Your closing has been scheduled and you need to have your cash to close funds wired to our trust account today to avoid closing delays so that funds can clear in your account on time. I'll send the updated wiring instructions once you have acknowledged the receipt. Thank you. They have the signature. Notice anything weird about her signature? Look close. Huh. How easy is it to throw an image into Claude and say, swap the phone numbers out in a ChatGPT or Photoshop? Probably didn't even use AI because that's pretty crappy Photoshop, but that is not Burgundy's phone number for the record, folks. Right? So they got her signature. They sent this email. How did the scammers have all this information? They were in the buyer's agent's email because she clicked on that Zoom link. And she didn't think much of it. Oh, the Zoom link didn't work, whatever, no big deal. Nope. And they were sitting in her email, not doing anything, waiting for closing to come up. And they're watching all of her deals and they see, oh, this is a closing we could take advantage of. This is the response of that buyer. Hi, Burgundy. Your email went to spam. So I'm just seeing this now. Is it too late to send the wire? This gentleman's not that old. He's older. And I pick on older people because they fall victim to scams a lot. Sometimes they miss the red flags like we just talked about, seeing the email, the signature. But poor Gerald said, what is the wire amount? You guys see where this is going? Good morning. Attached is our attorney escrow trust account for wire transfer. Kind of weird grammar there. Red flag? A little bit. Kindly confirm receipt. Ooh, the word kindly. Scammer's favorite word. You see the word kindly in your emails? Red flag, red flag. I know that sounds weird, but almost all scammers love that word, right? Here it is. How did the scammer know to the penny? Because they're sitting in the buyer's agent email. And guess what Burgundy authentically sent the buyer's agent? The settlement statement. They had the ALTA. They had the settlement statement. So they sent this. That would dupe a lot of people, not just poor Gerald, right? They had the penny. How would they know that? So they sent this. What did Gerald do? He went down to the bank. The wire has been sent. The address of the home is in the wire's memo. Please let me know that it's been received, Gerald. Did you guys notice the amount? $970,000. This poor guy wired to a scammer 2 weeks ago, right here, Utah County. The guy lives in Linden. This happened at a bank in our neighborhood. And they sent it. And our assumption is that they did say at the bank, hey, did you call and confirm it? He probably did call it. But who did he call? He called a scammer. They said, oh yeah, send it on over. We'll confirm wiring instructions. Right? And then here is the most painful email I've probably ever seen in my life. But the scammer has the audacity to say, wire received, thank you. $1 million. They're off enjoying a beach somewhere, right? So what happens? So he sent the wire, didn't think much of it. Comes to the final walkthrough, because he sent this before closing. Comes to the final walkthrough, walking through with the buyer's agent. And they're kind of talking about things. And he says, hey, I already sent my wire, so we're all good. And the buyer's agent says, you already sent your wire? And he says, oh yeah, Burgundy emailed me. Like, I got it sent a couple days ago. We're good to go. She says, huh, okay, interesting, but let's finish the walkthrough. Well, she immediately calls Burgundy and says, hey, did you receive the wire? That's news to me. And Burgundy says, what wire? Burgundy in here? No, she's up closing deals. She says, no, what? What wire? I haven't received it. And then all of this ensues. This happened 2 weeks ago. Of course, he put in a claim. It's FBI because it's over state lines. And the FBI says what to this poor guy? Your file number, da-da-da-da-da-da. We get about 12 of these a day. We'll get back to you when we want. They've never gotten back to him. There's virtually nothing this poor guy can do. So sorry, I'm like going into the details, but we need to share this story with everybody so that we can understand what's going on.
My concern is there is something the guy could do. He could sue the buyer's agent because she didn't protect her email, which is what we are asking all of you to do. Make sure you have multi-factor authentication on your email.
Yeah, so let's just rattle off a few ways that we avoid wire fraud, right? So number one, as you just heard Novalee say, if you don't have two-factor authentication on your email, shame on you. You're doing your clients a disservice, yourself a disservice, and you're dumb. You are dumb right now because you can get in. You guys know what two-factor is. It means you not only do you put in your password, but then it pings your phone, right? That's the two-factor. It pings your phone, whether it's an email or a text, or sometimes Gmail has Photos app or the YouTube app or some other app. Two-factor is so important. Your email is the most valuable thing they can get other than your own bank account, right? So two-factor, how else can you avoid this fraud? Let's just spit them out. How do you, don't click, but it's your client. Well, yeah, you don't click on links. Don't click on the Zoom. That's why I wanted to start this with don't click on those links. If anybody sends you a link to click on, not a link, but a login, if you have an unsolicited login, that is a red flag in and of itself. Yeah. He did. He did. He called Burgundy and scammer answered. So listen, no title company in 2026 right now sends wire instructions as a PDF attachment, period. Nod your heads, title people. That is so like 4 or 5 years ago now. They will use some sort of portal, whether it's Qualia, whether it's something, or they might just say, hey, we're going to hand it to you in person, eyeball to eyeball to you. Wire instructions will never be an attached PDF. And if I hear of any of you attaching wire instructions as a PDF and emailing it, I'm going to make you go to Dean's office, sit in the principal's office. Yes, sir. Yeah, because if they have your email, they can get in. I know, and I'm guilty of that on a few things.
Get him an email. Go and get rid of your email. Get it as your phone number.
Yeah.
That's
Dean and I are concerned. We don't know when this took place. Dean and I are concerned that there are hackers in your emails as we speak, waiting for your closings, waiting for this very brief moment where they can swoop in and send the wire instructions. And they're just lurking.
How do you prevent that? They're already in. You have to
Educate your client. As Kylie just said, that wire fraud does say confirm your wire instructions with a human in the secure. I'm telling everybody, just get them in person. And if you have a susceptible client or anybody, you just want to help and protect, go with them to the bank. Go make sure they do it in person. Talk to them. Tell this story. I want everybody telling the story that in Vineyard, Utah, the guy was in Linden, Utah, with a bank in our community. He was bamboozled into sending $1 million to a fraudster. Yeah.
Account settings and see recent sign-ins and see current sign-ins.
I love that. You can check recent sign-ins on your email. I forget about that. Yeah. See if anybody from a weird IP address or whatnot has logged in.
And log out. I think there's a button on there that says log out of all devices.
Yes. Click that button often. Log out of all devices. Yes.
Yeah, so please go to me.
And the moment to do that too is listings and buyers. The state requires you sign that wire disclosure. And so many of us just, oh, this is just another random doc that the state requires. We don't explain it. And don't be afraid to explain it. That is the moment to say, hey, I don't want to scare you with this, but it's real. I just heard the story at my team meeting. Somebody got $1 million stolen, all because a scammer sent them wire instructions and they fell for it. So just call me. When it comes time to transfer money, call me. Let's do it in person. Let's just be very, very safe because security matters to me. Boom, that's it. That's your presentation of the wire disclosure. That's all you got to say. That is the moment. Yeah, Rob.
Information from UCCU through UCCU.
They can be victim too, right? They can get scammed too.
But is there any better way of having a scanner procedure than just saying, look,
telling your clients that we go to closing, we get the amount, they'll give you the written instructions at that point in time, you go to your bank and wire it.
That's my fail safe. I'm telling everyone with the day this happened, I had a couple of closings coming up. I immediately called and said, hey, I just want to make sure it wasn't, that you guys haven't received any funny emails. Just know wire instructions will be given to you in person at closing. Sometimes though, they do need to be wired beforehand, and we get that. This is, go do it in person, drive to their house, be so safe, or just make absolutely sure they do it through Qualia and you're on the phone, do a 3-way call. Yeah. Okay. Guys, I took way too much time. Sorry, Novalee. This is so important. Guys, they just lost $1 million. Let's not let that happen to you. Thank you.
Thought that was so important, so we wanted to make sure that he went first. It wasn't the only time it happened to people that we know. It also happened to an agent in our market center and an agent that used to be at Keller, and she's not anymore, but they caught it that time, and that was last week. So it is incredibly common, and we need to protect. I don't want any of you falling victim to that, because I don't want your clients to lose $1 million, but I also don't want you to get sued because of it either. And that could happen. So let's talk about the value. That's echoing. Is it my fault?
Just don't stand into that. This one. Take 2 steps away from that. There we go.
There? Is that better? Okay. No. Okay. I'll stand over here.
Yeah, see if that helps.
Okay. I wanted to just remind, I'm not gonna write this. This is not good. I'll just hold it mine.
Jeez.
Go. Okay. I just wanted to remind everybody of the technology that KW offers free of charge. Well, it's included in your monthly subscription fee, because I think sometimes we forget the value that we actually have here. You can see that we provide Command, we provide Gemini Pro, AI Assistant, Canva Pro. How many of you knew that we provide a free Canva Pro account? Awesome. We have the lowest KW or Canva Pro adoption in the state as our market center. So I don't, so I guess we know about it, but we don't use it. So we'll probably get some trainings on that because Canva Pro is amazing and we want you to take advantage of that. We have Final Offer, DocuSign, which is what we're going to talk about today, Google Suite, National IDX feed, bunch of things like that. Okay, so KW provides a lot of free technology for you. One of the things that they provide, like I mentioned, was DocuSign. KWRI has changed policy, and as of July 1st, they are going to provide for you free of charge Lone Wolf Transact instead of DocuSign. So there's a couple of things. We're not requiring you guys to move to Lone Wolf if you don't want to. You're welcome to use SkySlope. You're welcome to use DocuSign if you want to. You'll just have to pay for that subscription yourself. It's about $50 a month, I think. So we're going to do some trainings on, if you do decide to use Lone Wolf, we'll do some trainings on how to use that system and log into that. But there are some things that you need to be aware of when it comes to this DocuSign transition. So I want to talk about that. By the end of May, you should have registered for Lone Wolf. We are going to send instructions out on how to do this in your email today. If you don't get it, come talk to Marcus at the front desk. Step-by-step instructions will be sent to you on exactly how to sign up for Lone Wolf. On June 1, we will not be accepting documents submitted to compliance from DocuSign. They need to be either SkySlope or Lone Wolf, or let me know that you are going to maintain and pay your own subscription to DocuSign, and you can continue to use that. But here's why, because they're going to turn it off in mid-July, and anything that you have in there will disappear. So if you haven't attached the documents to your opportunity, those things will be gone and you will not be able to recall them in any way. So that's why we want you to start using Lone Wolf, SkySlope, or something else in the meantime, or as of June 1st, because it usually takes 6 weeks to close, you're already up against that mid-July date when you will no longer have access to DocuSign. So any questions so far? If they are anything that is in command and attached to a particular placeholder like RepC, addenda, MLS printout, if it's attached, it will always be there and it's not going to go anywhere. You don't need to worry about that. If you use your DocuSign for your personal business and you have leases on your rental properties or trust or whatever documents that you might have that you use that account for personally, those documents are going to go away and become unavailable to you as of, I think it's July 14th. So all of that will need to be downloaded from DocuSign, so you won't lose that. July 1st, download all of your documents from DocuSign that are not attached to an opportunity. That's what I was just talking about. And then July 13th, access to DocuSign will be removed. It will no longer show up in your Command MC. So if you don't use DocuSign, you use SkySlope now, there will be no change for you. If you do use DocuSign, you can move to SkySlope, you can move to Lone Wolf, or you can purchase your DocuSign. Those are your 3 options. Any questions on that? Courtney. It will be gone when it comes to DocuSign as of mid-July. But if you've attached it, you're good to go. Well, if it's, yes. Yeah, as long as it's saved and I don't know, it might use the word attached. So link it. I assume if it's linked, it's the same way. It's going to be there for perpetuity as long as it is in the file. We just want you to get out of the habit of using it and move to something else so that there's nothing, like if you have a deal that closes next year and you've used DocuSign so far, that's fine. Just make sure those documents show up when you log into Command in the placeholders, and it will still be there. But if you leave it in DocuSign and then attach it at the end, that's when you're going to have a problem. So we'll be doing some trainings inside the Market Center. If you have any questions on connecting, we did it in Cameron's office. It took 10 minutes to sign up, get it all filled out, send a document, and receive a document. And we've never used it before. So it's pretty user-friendly. And again, we'll have those instructions sent out. Setup time, 10 to 15 minutes, 6 steps. This is why. This is why they decided to change from DocuSign to Lone Wolf. DocuSign acts, no, that's not what I was looking for. There's a sheet in here that says why. There are some advantages to Lone Wolf over DocuSign, but I can't find the slide. Okay. All right. Any other questions then? Also, I'll find that slide that says the advantages of using Lone Wolf over DocuSign, and I'll send that out in this email. Yeah. KW Technology is headed exactly that direction. I don't know if Lone Wolf does that now, but I know that KW will be at that point in a fairly short amount of time. So what she says is TCs don't have access to your SkySlope because they cannot log into your MLS. So if you have a TC, it's better to go with Lone Wolf because she can access any of your Lone Wolf because we now have TC access to everybody's accounts. Any other questions? The most important thing that I care about is if you use DocuSign for anything other than attaching your documents, anything in there needs to be downloaded. I do all of the leases for my kids' rental properties, and they are all in my personal DocuSign. Those are going away if I don't go in and download them. So that is my number one concern. Second, make sure that you make a decision on which signature entity you want to use going forward, and that you've got that set up and ready to go by June and start using that. Any other questions? Leave it, yeah, because the documents you've already attached, they're not going anywhere, so they're fine. And so you could attach some with Lone Wolf, some with DocuSign, some with SkySlope, doesn't matter. As long as they're attached in the placeholder, they're safe. Okay, well, that was some business that we needed to take care of, but we also wanted to have some fun today because that was kind of drudgery. So I asked Cameron to come up. We have a game or multiple games ready for you.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
We have Clay with bad news, losing millions of dollars for people, nobly making you learn new things. I just want to give you guys stuff. We're going to play games. Are you guys ready for this? And I have prizes. We have prizes.